a fresh start after a 6-month school closure. At the Queen Elizabeth School for Girls in Harare, morning assembly takes place like normal, though these times are anything but. There is disinfectant on arrival and students have their temperatures taken before they can open a book. The classrooms are missing one thing though, teachers. They've gone on strike over wages and hygiene concerns.
Teachers have lost their ranking in terms of our society. It's actually an insult to be a teacher, it's a curse, and people are simply saying if government is honest, address the problems so that we don't have people who are coming 100% every day to school, yet they are physically absent, yet they are psychologically absent in these schools.
The strike has hampered the return to school this week. Zimbabwe is phasing in slowly, starting with students who are about to graduate. Or, like this class, those who are busy studying for upcoming exams.
Trying our best to work hard, read, doing all the things we can, the revisions. We're only left with 2 months to write, and 2 months...
Yes, how is the pressure?
Yeah, it's too much.
Although some students have had virtual classes, most have had no tutoring for months. The teachers' strike is a threat to their futures.
It is something that is very hard to start school after 6 months without going to school. And as for me, I see it as a disadvantage because some of the teachers for now, they ain't coming for lessons. I don't know why.
If teachers don't come to lessons, we might actually fail our examinations, so it kind of threatens us.
The unions, meanwhile, insist that wages of around $40 to $50 per month are too low, especially given the risks teachers take in returning to work.
$40 is an insult. And we are saying if government is really serious, let's engage and make sure that we go somewhere.
Some educators are back in the classroom, though not all. While unions and government do battle, it is these young people who are left in the middle.
We've invited Zimbabwe's Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Primary and Secondary Education, Secretary Tumisang Thabela, joins me from Harare. Welcome to DW News Africa, Secretary Thabela. School children in Zimbabwe lost about half a year of learning. Why are you insisting on children taking crucial exams when they have not completed the syllabus?
Yes, currently they have not completed, which is why we are going back to face-to-face lessons. But during the time when they were not having face-to-face lessons, that is during the lockdown, we had other strategies, alternative strategies, where we were helping our learners to continue working on their work, on their syllabuses. Online lessons, radio lessons, as well as physical modules that were given to the remote
Understood.
schools.
Understood,
so
Secretary.
as we go back, we will also do a combination.
Understood. But do the provisions that you are referring to cover all children? Do they cover, for example, children with disabilities, children who are hard of hearing, children who cannot see? Do they cover the poor who often don't have access to resources that they need for online learning?
It is not easy to cover everybody all at once. So what we will do as we get back is to first of all do an assessment of where are we as we go back to school. And as we discover the gaps, we start doing plans that are tailor-made for individual groups of children or even individual children to try and make sure that we catch up with them. So as we go back, there will be a lot of remediation, a lot of catch-up, a lot of alternative strategies to complement the face-to-face.
Okay.
The groups you are talking about, the most marginalized, yes, we will look after.
But you have another challenge, Secretary, and that is teachers are not in the classrooms. They say they simply can't afford to show up to work. How are you going to complete the syllabus without the teachers?
As I said, the issues around teachers are being resolved. Once they are resolved, the teachers come back, and our Zimbabwean teachers are very committed. As soon as they come back, we have no issue. They will get their work done and their children prepared.
I've been speaking to a member of the unions, and I know you're confident teachers will be returning, but that's not the impression that I got because of where the negotiations are. They expressed that it's really difficult on the salary they earn to be able to afford to carry out their work. Another condition they're raising is the issue of whether enough provisions have been made in terms of the pandemic, Secretary. Has your government made the necessary provisions for teachers who will effectively become frontline workers when they return to the job? Will there be tests? Will there be thermometers, PPE? What about the schools that don't have running water?
All the PPEs have been given. We have actually supplied all public schools PPEs, and we are continuing to give them. Those infrared thermometers are there, liquid soap, sanitizers, disinfectants, the list, all the basic, according to the WHO guidelines and our standards operation procedures guidelines. So those have been provided for. We do screening first before we talk of testing. So that's why we have the infrared thermometers. And according to the standards operation procedures that we have been given in liaison with the Ministry of Health, the first thing is to screen. And then if we discover that you need further treatment, we refer to Ministry of Health. Because the health pandemic is a health issue, not an education issue.
Understood. But what is an education issue, going back to the main issue, is the fact that your teachers are getting paid an average of $38 per month.
Education issue is offering an education product.
Do you expect teachers to return to the job on a salary of averaging $38 a month, Secretary?
That is why government is talking to them and increasing giving them a top-up. It's because it's a realization by government that they need to be assisted in that direction.
All right, that is Zimbabwe's Permanent Secretary.
I'm not arguing with that at all.
Understood. That is Zimbabwe's Permanent Secretary for the Ministry of Primary and Secondary Education talking to us from Harare. Thank you, Secretary Thabela.